you're here to join me back for meditation. Thank you for coming, everyone. My name is Tiffany. Welcome to your meditation today. I'm really excited. We're actually going to take a little journey too, but just a journey through our senses. Coming to be present with our breath today is my hope for you in all of our meditations. So when you're ready, if you're moving your spot, please do. I'm going to take my little trusty space heater with me. It's quite cold today. So I do this because I would like for you as well to remember that the most important part of setting yourself up for your practice will be comfort. If we're not comfortable, there's no way we're going to be willing to sit or able to sit for a meditation. Now, for you, that might mean maybe you put me in your ears and you're walking around. Perhaps that's the best way for you to meditate. You might like to be like me. I love to get down on the floor. I like to bend my body in as much as different places as I can, and then have a seat to ground. Now, if you're staying in your workspace, that's great, but do try to put your feet fully flat on the floor. That will be your way of grounding. And if at all possible, slip your shoes off so you can really ground down. Another thing I would encourage if you're in your seat, it's hard to sit up really tall with a beautiful posture. So you can slide yourself to the very back of your chair and use that as your support. If you are on the floor with me, but your back gets really tired, scoot on over, my friends, to a wall or even a piece of furniture that will provide your back the stability it needs to sit tall. And to begin, we're taking a few movements and then we'll move right on into our breath practice. Let's sweep our arms wide. Just feel this sense of opening your body. How often do we sit very hunched over things, computers, steering wheels, phones, books, whatever we're doing. So it feels nice to open our bodies and our fingers really wide. Let's bring our fingers to the backs of our ears where you could touch your skull. And then shoulders will round open as your elbows come forward to me. Let's hold on a little tighter to the back of our skull and apply some pressure as we tuck just our chins. My friends, our back body is staying very long. Chin is tucking down to lengthen the back of our necks. Softening through your jaw so your teeth aren't gritting together. Bringing your eyes on back forward, widen your elbows again, create that sense of space, and drop your fingers to the shoulder heads. We're going to try to touch our elbows together in front of our chest. It's okay if you can't, just opening your upper back. Circle your elbows all the way around, back and down. Try to tap elbows. And then switch. Circle elbows down, back, and up. We'll try 2 more in each direction. Little shoulder circles. Okay, beautiful job. Now reaching behind you, if you can. If there's a chair there, grab it. The back of the chair, the seat, the arms, whatever you can. Just really puff your chest open. If you have space behind you, clasp your hands behind your low back, squeeze your blades, and puff your heart to me. Now, while we're here, yogis, very soft in our facial expressions. Excuse me, I meant to say meditators. Very soft in our facial expressions. We'll drop our left ear towards our left shoulder. If it's too intense with the arms clasped behind you, soften them down somewhere. Eyes move back towards the center and then drop right ear towards your right shoulder. Come on back into the center. Allow the arms to be super soft wherever they like to be. Could you try to shrug your shoulders a few times, encouraging your shoulder heads to drop down? With each shrug, think down. I like a big exhale too, like a and down from your earlobes. Nice. Now, if during practice you feel antsy, please take a moment to readjust yourself or do another stretch and then come back to us. I don't want you to have to fight through any discomfort today. If you're feeling a little overstimulated this morning, your palms can face down for extra grounding. And if the opposite is true, you're needing some stimulation, consider opening your palms to receive good energy from our practice. And setting yourself up, most importantly, our eyes. So if we're looking straight at our computers, we can be really stimulated and it's hard to drop in. Would you consider dropping your eyes down to something very boring, something plain, No stimulation, and then softening your eyes, either closing them completely or just little slits so that as you look through your eyelashes, everything that you can still see is blurry and unfocused. A great little trick to allow us to come and land in our bodies and our breaths. Welcome, my friends. Let's just notice how our breath is moving, if you can feel it or in your mind's eye see it. And we'll just inhale without any force to it, just noticing how it is without trying to change it. Simply exhale, being the casual observer here. On your next inhale, you can say the word or just think the word let. And on your exhale, think or say the word go. Inhaling our mantra, let go. Exhaling, let go. Practicing Ahimsa today, Ahimsa, a Sanskrit word, an ancient Indian principle that means non-harming, non-violence, respect for all living things, including ourselves. By practicing meditation, you are practicing Ahimsa. And take a few minutes to paint a picture in your head. Or perhaps envision yourself somewhere doing something. What would you like to achieve? How would you like to feel? So oftentimes I ask you to come with no expectations, just see what arises. But today, let's see if we can perhaps have an expectation. What do you want to become by practicing? Do you want your energy to change? For example, are you looking to become more vibrant by taking a constructive rest? Would you like to become creative? Tap into kindness. Find passion within yourself. Nurture yourself. Become more productive or more abundant. Anything you can possibly think of. Paint this picture of yourself living with this energy. And you might even feel. It might even move to your physical body. And whatever you're looking to achieve, let's go through our entire days today, our routines, our work lives, envisioning ourselves existing with this very open and free energy, feeling the sense of openness to encourage what we want to receive to come in. We can picture ourselves letting go of something. If there are steps we need to take to achieve our optimum energy, maybe we need to let go of something that's not serving us. I know for me, I love to let go of a big exhale because I like to think that there's old, stale air stuck deep in my belly. So on your next exhale, try with me, pausing at the bottom and then just kind of pulling your belly in quickly, like a little vacuum might do, and just extra puff of air out of your belly. And then you get this huge, now open space. All the old air is cleared out, and we can begin to fill up with that vibrant energy. So perhaps if we would sit, or even just while we're brushing our teeth or stretching in bed in the morning, and envision our optimal energy selves, exactly how we wish to feel and live our lives, how we hope to behave and show others the truest selves. If we envision this every morning, it will become a reality. We will start to live this. As we practice today, we're manifesting self-respect. We owe this to ourselves, yogis, giving ourselves love and kindness. And if we demonstrate these attributes towards ourselves, it's so much easier to send that out, to be patient and tolerate things that might irk us a little bit if we're all wound up tight. Let's take a little scan, or a big scan, of our bodies from our toes to our head. We're connecting with our breath here just as it is. No need to change anything. See your fingers and toes. If they're available to wiggle, I always like to give mine a little wiggle, an acknowledgement of sorts. And we'll try to let go of thoughts from the outside world. I know that you're very important and very busy, but we're just letting that go for a short time this morning in order to plug in and recharge ourselves. I promise you that as you pause here with me in constructive rest and meditation, you'll notice that you are feeling your better self, maybe even your best self as you progress through the day. So let's observe, yogis, friends, meditators. What do you love about yourself? I'll just give you some examples because sometimes it's hard when I put you on the spot to think of something. So for example, your mind, your beautiful mind. Maybe it's something physical, like you really love your eyes. And I'll tell you, every day I'm grateful for my strong bones, just the fact that we can get ourselves out of bed to our workplace, to a meditation session. So anything you can possibly think of, no matter how tiny or immense it is, what have we come to truly love about ourselves? Let's recognize the power in this. Observe, how deeply do we love and accept this one thing or many things about ourselves? Let's breathe into this feeling. I hope that you can physically feel the love you have for yourself. And then observe the energy that you're breathing in and out. Now that you have this more positive, more compassionate focus. We don't take the time to love on ourselves enough because sometimes we can see that as being selfish, or we're too busy helping and serving others to focus on ourselves. So you really deserve this. Similarly, are there areas of ourselves that evoke memories of criticism or judgment, or current criticism or judgment? Bring your awareness to them and then notice that energy. And immediately I feel a physical reaction to that. So it's nice to think about something that you're really proud of within yourself and you really are appreciative for and love. And it makes you almost like sit a little taller and feel a little brighter, right? Then if you think about a part of yourself that has been criticized by others and it's in your brain, it's just always in the back of your mind, or that you put upon yourself, do you notice that sense of like deflating a little? And that's just an example of how even thinking about energy in different ways can very much impact everything about ourselves, from our posture to our emotions to our physical sensations. Can you entertain the thought today of allowing ourselves to release any dislike, any anxiety, any judgment? Take a big inhale, bring attention, or even your hand. If it's something like, I know sometimes us ladies are really critical of our stomachs, everyone's always working on their bikini bodies this time of the year. So anything that you could physically lay a hand on, do that. Bring it to your mind. And then give yourself permission to breathe out these toxic feelings and emotions. We are focusing on Ahimsa, loving, compassionate kindness towards ourselves. Take back what you love and you focused clearly on a moment ago, and recognize the connection between that and your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being and bodies. Let's spread more of that loving kindness we initially fixated on and release any physical or mental abuse, judgment, discomfort, dislike feelings that was inflicted upon us in other areas of our bodies. Now let's think more lovingly about ourselves. Can you think of yourself in relation to a friend? Who are you? Who is that loving, compassionate part of you that you portray inwardly and outwardly every day? Perhaps it's your friends, your coworkers that you see. Perhaps it's a dear friend that you had the privilege of meeting with recently. Criticism comes very naturally to us. So this type of a practice where we try to flip-flop it and think about all of our positive attributes can be challenging, and that's okay. But let's sit and breathe for a moment and think about what a dear friend would say to you in appreciation. Perhaps it's a way that you make them feel, or something that you'd be willing to do for them, or just being there with them and for them. Let's sit with and cultivate a sense of appreciation for ourselves in the same way that our friend would be appreciative for us. And these can be beautiful, loving things that we can't see in the mirror. It's something about us, about the way we hold ourselves, about the way we handle our relationships. And as we're taking notice of this, let's remember that we are more than anything in our physical being. We are so much more than numbers in our bank account, numbers on a scale, grades in any continuing education classes we might be taking. You are more than anyone has ever told you you are capable of. Believe it or not, you are more than your job title. You are so much more than how anyone else has ever viewed you physically or created an opinion of you. You are more than any recognition you will ever receive. You are so much more than any labels that has ever been imposed upon you by yourself or others. You're more than your mistakes. You're more than your background, your insecurities. If you're on social media, you are so much more than the number of followers that you have. You're so much more than the negative comments or the actions that you have inflicted, upon yourselves. So these are things that we could potentially release in order to grow, to become our very best selves. In an act of Ahimsa, let's release anything that we have shunned in the past and embrace everything that we have loved even more tightly. When you push forward with this sense of non-harming towards yourself and compassion towards yourself, become aware of everything that you can become and achieve without anything holding you back. Let go of the desire to control, push down, stuff away. Let's forgive any self-inflicted negativity because you are so worthy of this deep sense of love and connectedness. As you continue breathing, perhaps we're using our mantra from earlier, let go. Let's return back to where we were just a few moments ago. Revisit the picture in your head of what you had hoped to achieve or how you wanted to feel during and after our practice together. If a word popped into your head earlier, do you remember what it was? Do you want to be more kind to yourself or others, more vibrant, more nurturing, more productive, abundant, creative, passionate? And really picture yourself living with this energy, because anything that you desire or wish for yourself is achievable. Maybe you envision yourself right now moving through the rest of your day with this vibrant energy. Maybe you even see it vibrating out of you or coming from your heart. How can you sustain it though? That's the hard part. We go really well for a while and then we forget all about it because we get busy. So how can we sustain this loving kindness connection to ourselves? Something that perhaps a loved one or a dear friend would think of us. How can we hold all of that near and dear to our heart to live our best selves? My recommendation is to return to the breath. As often as you can today, even if it's one very present, doing nothing else but focusing on a beautiful inhalation and a full exhalation. We're able to connect to our breath to center ourselves. When I have times of panic, when I'm feeling frantic, like just moving too quickly through life, it's a 3-breath maximum where I take that time to pause and come within, and everything becomes clearer. You know that song, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. That's exactly what plays in my head as soon as you take time just to slow down, reground yourself, so we say. And that might be another awesome visual as you take that, even just one breath if you don't have time for 3. See whatever's connected to the ground, establishing roots down. So you know you have all of this positive energy coming within you. Picture yourself letting go of what no longer serves you. And if we commit regularly to this visualization practice, these breaths of loving kindness, we will begin to live what we may have in the past only hoped for or dreamed of. So just for today, let's make ourselves this promise that we will, as often as possible, come back to a minimum of 1 breath, being kinder to ourselves, being mindful of our time and balancing our energy, giving thanks in full breath-centered appreciation that we are awake and aware and alive. We recognize this great presence that is everywhere, and we live it to our fullest. In total receptivity. Being the best version of ourselves will help us do more good than we could possibly imagine. So my hope for you as we close our formal practice together is that you feel whole, that you feel healthy and happy. You are safe and free from harm. You experience inner peace and live your life with ease. To close together, let's bring our palms at prayer with our thumbs meeting heartbeat, or just simply cover your heart with your palms. And one more time, breathing in, let go. And breathing out, let go. Slowly reopening your eyes and rising them forward. Try leaving your practice today just as softly as you came in. So smooth hands down. Turning maybe to a side and giving a little stretch or a roll around. And then if you did leave your workspace, just super gently coming back to your space to begin your day. Namaste, my friends. My light truly honors yours. Thank you for joining me for your Ahimsa, non-harming loving kindness